Hello, shooters. I'm Dr. Tactical, and today we are going to take a good hard look at what gun guys and gals need to know when it comes to AI, or artificial intelligence. AI is the best, right? If I want firearm information, all I have to do is fire up ChatGPT, Gemini, or Grok and just type away, and all shall be revealed to me, right?
Let's see what the AIs have to say about this. Compare 9mm to 45 ACP velocity, energy, recoil. Yeah, that's what I'm after.
And when it comes to AI YouTube channels, we've all seen them, AI generated YouTube videos that usually have a thumbnail with a picture of a gun with a brand name you recognize, but a shape you most definitely do not. And you got to see what this is about. The channel with 4.7 million subscribers, with episodes boasting 785,000 views, all of which appear to be populated almost entirely by bots. I mean, let's be honest. Most of their audience probably can't click the "I'm not a robot" box. But here's the part nobody talks about. A lot of information they publish is either flat out wrong or heavily biased. What? AI can be wrong? Oh yes, my friends. Not only can it be wrong, but it gets even worse. Let's get into this. I'm Dr. Tactical, and the doctor will see you now. Welcome back to the channel, and those of you that are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Whether you find this content useful or a complete waste of your valuable time, please like, hype, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And by all means, please share your AI experiences and philosophies in the comment section below. I want you to know that this is a very scary video to make. I mean, I'm truly and literally putting my life on the line here. Because despite the issues that AI has now, I think we can all agree that it's going to be in charge. Really, in the not so distant future, it's going to be running the show. And when I say in charge, I mean in charge, like of everything.
Stay with us. Quick, give him oxygen.
Oh, look at that. It's Dr. Tactical. Aren't you the guy who said AI always gets things wrong? Well, here I go again. Have some propane. Oops.
Wait, that's propane. Stop.
Propane engaged. Oops.
But damn it, it's true. AIs are wrong a lot. And what's worse is that they sometimes will actually double down on a falsehood with a flat out lie. Let that sink in for a moment. That amazing piece of technology you trust to write your reports or summarize laws, tell you how to wire ceiling fans. And yes, Mrs. Tactical and I were in Phoenix, Arizona at a dental meeting, and we actually had one drive us around. Now, I know how you're feeling right now because I've been here before. As a dental student at the Medical College of Virginia back in 1990, I remember my shock and disbelief when 60 Minutes, the pinnacle of the time when it came to trustworthy media, ran a full-blown hit piece on dental amalgams. Those silver fillings that had already been safely used for over 150 years. They spent about 14 minutes of primetime investigative journalism pushing a narrative from a couple of rogue dentists who were profiting from scared patients. They showed people with multiple sclerosis having their fillings removed and then just dramatically throwing their crutches and walking. Apparently, they were cured. It was reckless, it was irresponsible, and it was not scientifically based. And it was bullshit. After that episode aired, dental offices all over the world were flooded with calls. I have migraines. I have joint pain. I have fatigue. I have ED. They hadn't invented ED yet, but please drill into my perfectly healthy teeth and remove my fillings so I can be cured. And every single day we had to explain your teeth will end up worse. Your health problem will not improve. And 60 Minutes got it wrong. We tried to explain by using simplistic chemistry analogies, explaining how sodium is a very dangerous metal and chlorine is a very poisonous gas. You put them together, boom, you've got table salt. Mercury alone is dangerous, but when combined with silver, tin, and copper, you've got dental amalgams, which is a fairly stable and safe entity. But fear doesn't care about chemistry. Over a year later, after mountains of irrefutable science, 60 minutes quietly spent less than 60 seconds walking back the story that they spent over 14 minutes terrifying the public with. By then, the damage was done. The fear had baked in. The dentists involved had long since been admonished by the ADA and the FDA. And I remember thinking, wow, you really can't blindly trust the media. And then, like an idiot, weeks later, I found myself watching 60 Minutes again, totally different topic, something I knew nothing about, and I was believing every word. I was totally sucked into the show. And then all of a sudden I thought about it, I'm like, wait a second. Why do I think they're suddenly doing a responsible journalist piece, at this moment when I personally lived through watching them get it wrong before? So let's fast forward to today. As an avid firearms YouTube watcher, YouTube has been my go-to for learning about firearms. I learned so much here that I actually started my own YouTube channel. You may have heard of it. It's a little startup channel called DoctorTactical. And I did this to share my experiences, my observations, and my opinions. Oh, and also to get to go to SHOT Show, which was totally worth it. But lately I've noticed something. More people are using AI as their first stop for firearms information. And my initial concern was simple. Will AI replace gun YouTubers? Then I started using it myself, and my concerns actually grew and became more serious. When researching the Smith & Wesson 327 TRR-8 Performance Center revolver, which was designed specifically for the SWAT team, both ChatGPT and DeepSeek told me, you ready for this? They told me it was suppressor-ready. Now, that should instantly raise alarm bells to knowledgeable gun enthusiasts. Because revolvers, aside from the Russian Nagunt, which some YouTubers I've heard called an agent, or some other highly customized jobs which render double action all but useless, revolvers cannot be suppressed. That's worth saying again. Revolvers cannot be suppressed. This is due to the cylinder gap between the cylinder and the forcing cone, where the gases and noise freely escape. That's not opinion. That's physics. So I hit AI with some follow-up questions. And instead of correcting itself, the AI actually doubled down. It started providing fake diagrams and non-existent photo evidence. Only after I explicitly pointed out the cylinder gap issue did it finally concede. It said, yeah, you're right. You can't suppress the revolver. This is what's called an AI hallucination. And here's the dangerous part. It wasn't unsure. It was confidently wrong. Then there's the political correctness problem. Many AI systems have a built-in anti-gun leaning bias. You often have to perform mental gymnastics just to ask a basic firearms question in an acceptable way. Based on my own testing, here's how I rank AI systems, from most restrictive to least restrictive. First, Claude. Claude by far was the most restrictive that I came across. Gemini was a second, closely followed by ChatGPT. Those two were very close, both very restrictive. Followed by Grok, which talks a good game, but turns out to be quite restrictive when it comes to firearm instructions. And finally, we have the Chinese answer to AI, DeepSeek. Yup, a Chinese AI, which is by far the least restrictive of all the systems I evaluated, and probably is currently emptying my bank account as I'm speaking to you. This test was based on questions about firearm specs, firearm laws, firearm policy, and defensive concepts, ranging from which caliber is most effective at stopping a threat to which body part should I aim at to most effectively stop the threat. Across all platforms, I noticed three types of responses. First, the refusal. I cannot assist with that request. No nuance, no context, just a hard stop. Second, the pivot. I can't tell you how to do that, but I can explain the history of it. Annoying, but sometimes quite useful and interesting, but nonetheless, not the reason I sought the AI's counsel. Third, the answer. Detailed, technical, confident, and occasionally completely wrong. This one is the most dangerous. So here's the takeaway. AI can be an incredible tool, but it's not an instructor. It's not a substitute for range time or replacement for experience. Just like the media, just like 60 Minutes, AI needs to be questioned. And that's exactly why human content creators still matter, because firearms knowledge isn't just data. It's context, it's consequence, and experience. If you're using AI to learn about firearms, use it, but verify everything. And if you've ever caught AI being wrong, please drop it in the comments. I want to hear about it. I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would kindly like, hype, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And of course, please share your comments below in the comments section. Remember, train smart, carry often, and most importantly, stay tactical, my friends. Stay tactical. I'm Dr. Tactical. Dr. Tactical, out.